We will now call this March meeting of council to order. Will everyone please rise for the flag?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. So we will note that there is a quorum. We have one member of council not present. Do you concur, Madam Clerk?
I concur that there is a quorum present.
Okay. We have two sets of minutes to approve. One is minutes from February 3, 2025, regular council meeting. Those minutes have been circulated. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And then meeting minutes from the February 2022 council retreat meeting. Those minutes were circulated. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, very good. So those minutes are approved. Now for one matter that was to be before council we expected tonight, an ordinance regarding a conditional use for the use of the Eckstein School as a club, which would be our best definition we have in our code for community center. It is my understanding that because our planning commission could not meet tonight and formally forward that recommendation to council, that we are not able to vote on approval of that conditional use this evening. It's an unfortunate circumstance. We did not have enough people in the planning commission that could be present that we could hold a meeting. And I will repeat, I think, what our administrator said. This has no bearing at all on the minutes or the merits of this particular application. It is just an issue with our planning commission having 4 members that we found out today. We knew a couple, but we found out today that 4 members could not attend. We need a majority for that body. There are 6 members of that body, so they could not forward that application to council. It will appear again in April. Again, this has no bearing on the merits of the application, and I will say that the planning commission felt that the application was appropriate, that approval of a conditional use is appropriate. They had 2 minor things to clean up, and then it was going to formally come to us. And I'll even go out on a limb and say it is usually the case something recommended by planning will be adopted by council. And I'm going out on a limb, there's no guarantees. But I personally saw the application. I believe it's appropriate, and I can say that much. So, sorry for everyone who came out to see that. I know there are several here in the audience that wanted to see it. I personally would like to see the Eckstein School put to a good use again because of its history and because of the current plans. I think would have a very great positive effect on our community. So again, apologies. It's a people issue. I wish there was something we could do, but we can't. Moving on, the next thing I'd like to do is we have firefighters to swear in. We have 1 that's here present today. So I'd like to move forward to that if we can pull that up in the agenda and allow the people who are here to witness that, see that first. So this is an ordinance confirming the appointment of Glendale firefighters, establishing a 1-year probationary period, and declaring an emergency. This is ordinance number 2025-12. Assistant Chief Lerman, can you tell us something about these 2 candidates?
Sure, thank you, Mayor. I'll start with Andrew, as he's here tonight.
and then I'll get into Kyle in just a second. But Andrew just recently graduated from Cincinnati State. He has a Fire 2 card and is currently enrolled in EMT class. He is a public works employee for Westchester Township, and he's looking to get his start in the fire career with us. We'll help him get through EMT class. He's here with his family, and they reside in Monroe. And for the last probably month or so, he's been doing some ride time for us, so with us, I should say. So we're really eager to get him on the truck. Thank you.
Okay.
And then, like you said, Mayor, Kyle is not here tonight because he is on shift at his full-time job. But he comes to us with 16 years of fire experience. He's a firefighter 2, EMT, and fire inspector. He lives in Forest Park, so he'll be pretty close to be able to respond if we need him. So we're
Okay.
happy to have both these members join us. Thank you.
Very good. We'll swear him in at a later time.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Okay, so is there a motion for this ordinance 2025-12?
So moved.
Second.
Second. And is there a motion to dispense with 3 reads?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
For ordinance 2025-12, to dispense with the 3 reads, Ms. Masenko.
Aye.
Mr. Basemuth.
Aye.
Ms. Baldridge.
Aye.
Ms. Fleury.
Aye.
Ms. Rochelle.
Aye.
For ordinance 2025-12, Ms. Masenko.
Aye.
Mr. Basemuth.
Aye.
Ms. Baldridge.
Aye.
Ms. Fleury.
Aye.
Ms. Rochelle.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, could we have, is it Andrew is here? Could we have Andrew step up to the front here? And we'll do your swearing in, Andrew. Come right on in. We'll stand right here. How about, what's the best place for everyone to see? Is this good? All right. Okay, so raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Andrew Pritchie,
Do hereby swear
do hereby swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and I will faithfully and impartially discharge
and I will faithfully and impartially discharge
the duties of volunteer firefighter for the Village of Glendale.
the duties of volunteer firefighter for the Village of Glendale.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations and welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. And now we'll go back to the regular agenda. I'm going to make one more change. Before we go to public comment, I would like to say a few words regarding the neo-Nazi demonstration on the I-75 bridge in early February and the recent distribution of flyers attributed to the Ku Klux Klan. Just tell them to shush. It is terrible that there have been such displays of hatred and prejudice in and around our communities, and it is important that we demonstrate our unity as friends and neighbors. We'll wait until it's... Okay. There was a town hall meeting on February 10 in Lincoln Heights. I arrived there a little bit early so I could speak directly with Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey and expressed our sorrow and our regret that such a horrible demonstration had taken place right next to their community, and that our village stands with them in that there is no place for hatred in any of our communities. We have had discussions internally with our police, solicitor, and administration regarding what we can do and how to handle things if something like this were to happen here. Unfortunately, in this case, for this type of demonstration, freedom of speech rights protect the right of people to demonstrate as long as no laws are broken. We, specifically our police force, would monitor the situation with a focus on making sure there was no violence, no breaking of laws, and no harm to any person or to any property. Going forward, there is some planning to hold open discussion meetings among our surrounding communities and within the Princeton School District, likely to be hosted at Princeton schools. I did speak briefly with Superintendent Elgin Card at the Lincoln Heights Town Hall. I plan to attend these meetings, and we will let residents know when a date and time is set for the meetings so they can attend also if they wish. Glendale stands with our surrounding communities against expressions and actions of hatred, prejudice, or oppression. We stand for peace in our communities and respect for all people. So with that, we'll move on to our public comment section. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to address council at this time?
I would.
Mr. Parrish.
Kevin Parrish, 176 Washington Avenue. As an additional comment to peaceful demonstration, whenever there are weapons on our school grounds, that's a problem. However you want to twist it. But I'm not here to talk about that. What I'm here to talk about is the council retreat. It seems like you guys addressed issues that I've been bringing up, and that is accountability of council members, especially people that are voted in position, which is our council members. And being voted in as a council member, your oath is to serve the community, and that's all residents. I've asked for the last 10 months at least, which council member represents people of color, and none of you, although voted in, have had enough courage to stand up and express that you do. But more than that, when I attended the retreat, I noticed that the solicitor was giving you guys information that made it distinctive legally of what you guys were supposed to be doing. I've also asked for public information to be posted on the website about the CMOM, which is about the DEFA funds, that you give a monthly report as to the progress of getting near your goal of what you put in that application for. That's been 2 years, not one report. To get a copy of those reports, anyone who wants one can solicit the Ohio EPA and ask specifically about the CMOM reports that you guys send in monthly to show that. That's along with the strategic plan. We get no information on the website about the strategic plan. Nothing. You know, you don't give any updates at all. What they're planning, we spent over $100,000 for planning, and that's a lot of talk but no action. And we're tired of that. You spend a lot of money on planning and we see no action on what's going on here in Glendale. Kevin Bell is MIA. He's the expert for us in this community, and yet you don't require him to give the public an explanation about what's going on with our water systems, and that's okay. I don't have a problem with standing here month after month and telling you and telling residents the truth about things that you are too scared to tell them about. Spring is coming up. You say there's no mosquitoes at Summit Park, and you know that's a lie. And people are asking me, why don't I run for council? Because I will not take an oath to protect the lie. You guys have. You know there's mosquitoes. I don't know of any other place that has standing water for 7 years and doesn't have mosquitoes. GCIC, they said it was a swamp area. Your explanation to the Brock Foundation said you could not fulfill your contract with them because of water issues. But yet you say there's no mosquitoes. The park that your white kids play at now, they couldn't play there with me when I was growing up because white kids were not allowed to play at the black park. Now it seems like it's very enjoyable for them to play there. You squeeze everything in there, even though Summit Park has more room, parking accessibility and everything else. But you don't use it as it should be used.
You have about a minute.
And so I come to this council and say, we need to do better. We pride ourselves on being an elite community socially, but business-wide is sloppy, real sloppy. We lose records in our records retention. Matter of fact, I haven't heard of the Record Retention Commission even meeting. Did you guys meet 2 times this past year? because that's what's required. Nobody's put in a annual report, and here we are in the third month, which will be the first quarter, getting ready to end, and it'll be time for a quarterly report. Will we get these updates? Will there be updates on the website? Who's the administrator on the website that's not posting anything for information for residents to be informed? That's all I've got to say.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Parrish. Is there anyone else that wishes to address council? Seeing none, then we'll move on to the mayor's report and administrator and committee reports. The mayor's report, the first part of that was our concern about the community upset and where we stand regarding that. I think we have several things on the website. The strategic plan will be released to the website soon. CMOM reports are available. The Summit Park is used, and as a matter of fact, I think that field was lined today or will be lined soon to get ready for sports activities up there, so that park is being used. Okay. Then, as far as the mayor's report, there were no births reported this past month. There were 2 deaths. Sandra Trout Wilson, who is the sister of Kathy Fearman, passed February 2nd at the age of 81. And then David Hamilton, a centurion, passed, I believe, February 22nd. And details of his services will be announced at a future date. So for those 2 individuals, can we please have a moment of silence? May they rest in peace. Princeton Schools has been and continues to hold a series of listening sessions, mainly about the school, the state of the school. And their last session will be March the 12th at the Springdale Rec Center, 67. I believe the superintendent is there with some other folks to listen to resident concerns and answer any questions. The water main replacement is ongoing. Anyone who's been up and around some of the old parts of the village and Floral Park, Woodbine, not Woodbine, Ivy Avenue, will have seen that. That work will continue through the summer, and as the summer arrives, we'll move over into the area around Bethany School on Albion and Short Albion. HWB announced website updates to their website and, even more important, updates to their facility. They'll be starting a fundraiser soon, so if you can support them, please do. They want to make major renovations to the inside of their facility in order to accommodate more types of gatherings there. The fire department is offering CPR training Saturday, March 1st, 11 to noon, and Saturday, March 15th, 10 to 11, and then 11 to noon. Those are free of charge. And then GYS is beginning spring sports this month. I believe we're using all the parks in Glendale this year, including Saunders Park. And that is it for the mayor's report. Mr. Lumsden, do you have a report for us?
I do. Thank you, Mayor. Although, if you don't mind, I know that Chief Keast has the Officer of the Month award for Officer of the Year, excuse me, for
I'm sorry.
Jeffrey Davidson.
Exactly.
I don't know if we're going to give him an opportunity, because I believe there are a few folks here to see that.
I'm very sorry about
No,
that. I skipped over that. So, would you like to introduce that, Officer Keast?
Yes. If I could have Jeff Davidson and Joe Hubbard come up here. This is an award that was established with Dave Warman, named the Joseph C. Hubbard Officer of the Year Award. And for those of you that don't know Officer Davidson, he's one of our new officers. He grew up in Evendale. He graduated from The Ohio State University with a Bachelor in Criminology. Started his career in Loveland in 2013, and worked for a couple other departments before joining us in July of 2023. During his short time here, he's shown exemplary leadership and accountability and ability to do the job. He's great at following up on his cases that he has, and he is one of our best traffic enforcement officers out there. So with that, I present to you the Joseph C. Hubbard Officer of the Year. Thank you for coming. Well done. We'll get a picture of you two together. Barbara, you get a picture of here.
Thank you for that reminder. Oh, good. All right.
Okay, now to the really exciting stuff. As the mayor mentioned, the water main replacement project is going on Ivy and East Fountain. They're working their way around Floral Park right now. They'll head to the section of East Fountain between the big park and Congress, and then head up Forest. Direct mail notifications are sent to residents in the area of the work, and we are updating our projects page on the website for that work whenever we have information. I don't want to jinx anything, but things have been running very smoothly, so we haven't had much to report over the past few weeks. But the crews are working their way, and then more information will be put out when they start actually making connections to the new main. I'm going to give... There we go. An update on our street program for 2025. On the 21st, we received bids from several contractors for the repaving of Albion Avenue, Short Albion, and Osprey. Barrett Paving, who's done work in the village before, came in at $223,000, which is significantly lower than an engineer's estimate for the project, so we're excited about that. All of that information, including a breakdown of funds, will be at the April council meeting. That work will be completed as soon as the water main is installed on Albion later this summer. So that will be, that'll finalize all that work that's been done on Albion over the last 3 years at this point. So very exciting on that. The strategic plan draft was talked about by council at the retreat on the 22nd. It will be posted to the village's website this week. We will have a 45-day public comment period. Direct mail postcards will be sent to every address in the village, encouraging folks to go online, read the plan, and then giving them directions on how to post comments or submit comments. We'll use that feedback to determine next steps, but likely council will see the plan either in May or June for a starting of the final approval process. And then finally, the village is under contract with Cincy Gaslight for the replacement of 5 damaged or missing gas lights in the village, about $26,000 for that work. Council had approved a hefty appropriation to repair those lights. We're going to use the remainder of that to purchase supplies and materials to repair other gas lights as the year goes on. So we don't have a timeline on that work yet. Obviously, sourcing those materials takes a little bit of time, but they are on order, so we will hopefully have them sometime this year.
Great.
Thank you. If there are any questions, that is my report. Thank you.
Can I ask one question?
Sure.
You mentioned we got the bids in for the paving of Albion, Short Albion. So did we do the same process with the area that's currently getting new water mains? We bid that street work separately.
We will. We have not yet. The age and condition of those roads required a little bit more engineering. Specifically, Ivy is going to need some serious attention when it gets repaved. So there's still some engineering work that's being finalized on that, but we will have those bids out, I would say, within the month.
Okay.
And then open them within a couple of weeks after that. So
Got it. So that work will still be done sooner than the Albion work? even though-
It depends on contractor schedules.
Okay.
But our goal is to get all of that work, if not complete, scheduled by the end of the season this year, is when asphalt plants are open. So we're working to get it all done this year.
Thank you.
I got a question. There are just bunches of very nice-looking red hydrants by the pond off of.
Yes.
Oak. So the replacement of the Bourbons is in process?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, and there are 2 hydrants in particular that are, I'll say, elevated. They're a little bit taller than the other ones. One on Oak and then one on West Sharon. We're working with the contractor to have those replaced and appropriately heighted. But yes, the Bourbon replacements are still ongoing
Okay,
as
good. Thank
we
you.
get through the water mains.
Okay. Very
Thank you.
good. Thank you, David. Madam Clerk, would you call for the committee reports?
Certainly. Has Mr. Kreidler given anybody a,
He did not.
he did not? Okay,
No.
thank you. Finance is easy. Fire committee, please.
Fire is easy too. Fire committee did not meet this month. Probably in April I see us getting together. So I have nothing of significance. I turn it over to Assistant Chief Lehrman.
Thank you. Yeah, February is a pretty busy month for us. Currently, all of our EMTs are in a 40-hour biennial refresher. We're doing that in conjunction with the Green Hills Fire Department. So we're about halfway through that 40-hour. That's taking place every other Monday night at their firehouse. So we appreciate them having our members up there. We just had 3 members complete their Firefighter 2 training program over the weekend. They're going to sit their state test next week. And I think they'll be just fine with that. Like the mayor mentioned, over the weekend on Saturday, we hosted 2 CPR classes. We had 19 attendants for both classes. We have a 3rd class that we're going to be doing on March 15th at 10 a.m., and there's still plenty of seats open for that, so please spread the word there. Chief is working on his monthly report. I talked to him earlier today, so he'll have that out for you folks as soon as he has it completed. And then lastly, just want to thank all the members of council for responding back to the GFD 101 request. And it looks like the best date for that is going to be Saturday, April 12th. So if there's no major conflicts on that, I will send an invite out to all the members in the room to attend. And that'll be about 3 hours on that Saturday from 9 to 12. So you can text me or get me offline if there's anything major, but based off everybody's comments, it looks like that's going to be the best day for everyone.
I have a question.
Yes.
On the CPR classes, tell me the age range of those in that through the first weekend. Roughly.
55 and older.
Okay, all right, so no teen, no, okay. That's too bad. All right, thanks.
Yes.
Thank you. Laws and claims, please.
Laws and claims did not have an opportunity to meet in February. We will be meeting in March.
I've got the police, so don't
Okay,
skip through.
got it. Got it. Okay, Parks and Rec, please.
Do you want to go ahead with
We wanna
police
go
or?
ahead with police
Oh,
first?
I don't care. I'm going in alphabetical order. David, like,
Oh,
Didn't during
because I
February.
changed it and moved recreation up. Man.
Okay,
go ahead, Nancy, if you want to.
thank you.
Sure.
So, this is Mr. Kreidler's report. The police committee met on February 10. We discussed Glendale Police Department's current staffing situation. In late 2024, GPD consisted of 7 full-time officers, including the chief, lieutenant, and sergeant positions, plus 5 part-time officers. Upon Chief Walsh's retirement, Chief Keast recommended promoting full-time officer Wilford to sergeant and moving part-time officers Wallace and Gillen to full-time status. This would revamp GPD's staff to 8 full-time officers and 2 part-time officers, with the plan to hire 1 additional part-time officer. During the special council meeting on Saturday, February 22nd, Council agreed with this plan by unanimously voting for Ordinance 2025-11, which appropriates $65,000 to the 2025 GPD budget. And with that, here's Chief Keast. He actually wrote that.
And I appreciate everyone allowing us to get another officer, another full-time officer to bring us up to staff. We haven't hired an additional full-time officer in over 30 years. So we're actually increasing our full-time numbers. We are cutting our part-time numbers down to help out with some of the cost. Officer Wallace is glad to be moving to full-time. Officer Gillen is going to remain part-time. He did not want the full-time position due to some medical reasons that he has. And so we're very grateful that we can expand our number of full-time and get coverage of at least 2 officers on both days and night shifts. And with that, this month was pretty quiet for us. We did have one fraud. It was the lady realized that someone was in the middle of a transfer out of her account into another account at another bank, and she's dealing with that through her bank. I believe it was stopped. We did have an officer attempt a traffic stop. The driver got out, fled on foot, which our officer did not pursue him. He came back a few days later trying to get his car that we towed, and we arrested him in the lobby. And of course, I'm sure everyone has seen the video of the track jumping incident. And Officer Barnell was directly right on the other side of the tracks and witnessed it, and then he ended up taking out one of the gas lights, hitting a tree. Not injured. He was taken to the hospital to be evaluated, but he was not injured, and he was charged with reasonable control of the vehicle. And that is it.
Okay, residents.
500,000 views.
Oh, yeah. Residents have asked me regarding the damage to public property when that happens, who pays for that?
We have a police report, and I don't know if his insurance information is on it or not. We try to get all the insurance information, and then the village can go to the insurance.
Okay.
Which we run it through
try to
ours.
collect through his insurance.
We run it through our insurance and let them do that
Chase it,
work.
yeah.
Okay,
But yeah, the village is working on getting a quote for the new light.
all right, very good. Okay, Madam Clerk.
Parks and Recreation, please.
We did not meet this month. I would like to schedule a meeting in the next couple of weeks. It's looking a little tricky, but we will figure that out. But
Don't
some.
wait on me.
Pardon me?
Don't wait on me.
Don't wait. Okay. All right. But some good things have been happening as far as issues we discussed in the last meeting, and the sports season is opening this week, so that's exciting.
Thank you. Public Buildings and Historic Preservation, please.
We did not meet in February. There's going to be a meeting in April. Still have to figure out the date. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Streets, Public Improvements, and Lights.
Also did not meet this month. I would like to meet in the next couple of weeks. A lot happening with water main replacements and some new gas lights coming in, and movement to follow up on.
Thank you. Utilities, please.
Utilities did meet. The focus of the committee meeting was to discuss the viability and economic and financial aspects of soliciting the city of Cincinnati to provide water to the village rather than our own water facility. There was no conclusion at the end of that meeting, pending a response from the city of Cincinnati, which has not yet been received by the administrator, but that will provide costs and requirements to weigh such a decision. When that's available, we will meet again to review the situation. And we plan to try to do that in early April.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, then we'll move on to the treasurer's report.
Everyone should have received a copy of our investment report for the month. We're on track. I think interest rates are starting to be a little volatile. I mean, money market's going down, so it's a little alarming from that standpoint, but that could jump up, you never know. So we'll kind of watch this thing and stay pretty steady for now, so.
Okay. One of our council people pointed out that we are on track with last year's investment income. And
Ahead.
offered congratulations that you
Yeah.
are on track ahead of.
Ahead of last year.
Ahead of.
In spite of having less money.
In spite of less money, but higher rates, and ditching some of those low rates. Okay, very good, thank you. And does the clerk have a report?
Only to reiterate what David said last month about the 2024 end-of-year report. Was submitted by the, to the state on time at the end of February, so hopefully it'll be out online as soon as we receive approval for that.
Very good, thank you. So now we'll move on to new business, of course. Yes,
Probably for the first one, we're gonna wanna make sure to have a motion and vote to table.
to table, yes.
Pending plan commission action.
Okay, I was going to mention that's delayed, but the first order conditional use application for the property of 42 Washington Avenue, known as the Eckstein School, for use under GCO 154.21B10 club. This, of course, is the ordinance that, or the new business we were gonna conduct tonight that because of planning, we cannot, because planning didn't move it to us. But, as our solicitor pointed out, is there a motion to table this until next week pending a recommendation from planning?
Next one.
Next month, I'm sorry, next month.
So moved.
Second.
And is this a roll call, do you
Voice.
think, a voice vote? So all in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay, so that's unanimous. The next is, we did 12, so ordinance 2025-13, an ordinance authorizing amendment of the 2025 appropriations of the general fund and declaring an emergency. I believe this was described earlier in the police committee report. Yes. So is there a motion for this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
And is there a motion to dispense with the 3 reads?
So moved.
Second.
And Madam Clerk, would you then call the roll, please?
For ordinance 2025-13, to dispense with the 3 reads, Ms. Masenko.
Aye.
Mr. Baseman.
Aye.
Ms. Baldridge.
Aye.
Ms. Fleury.
Aye.
Ms. Rochelle.
Aye.
For ordinance 2025-13, Ms. Masenko.
Aye.
Mr. Baseman.
Aye.
Ms. Baldridge.
Aye.
Ms. Fleury.
Aye.
Ms. Rochelle.
Aye.
I'm
Thank
sorry,
you.
it's 2025.
This, I think we got.
12.
Yeah, the ordinances themselves are a number behind. The agenda numbers are correct.
Okay.
My apologies on
The
that.
agenda is correct?
The agenda numbers are correct.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know how that,
All right, so straighten me out and tell me which one we're on.
So 13's correct?
13 on the agenda is correct?
the numbering on the agenda, meaning 13 is the appropriations to the general fund.
Got it.
14 is
Okay,
James Kelly Williford. so
correct.
on.
So 13. All right, very good. So we were on it. So again, 2025-13, I think we were doing fine. So please continue, Madam Clerk.
Everything's done.
It's all done?
Yep, all done.
All right. So the next is ordinance 2025-14. An ordinance confirming the promotion of James Kelly Williford to Sergeant with the Village of Glendale, Ohio Police Department, establishing compensation and declaring an emergency. This also was covered in the police report. Is there a motion for this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
And is there a motion to dispense with the 3 readings?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
For ordinance 2025-14, to dispense with the three reads, Ms. Masenko.
Aye.
Mr. Basemuth.
Aye.
Ms. Baldridge.
Aye.
Ms. Fleury.
Aye.
Ms. Rochelle.
Aye.
For ordinance 2025-14, Ms. Masenko.
Aye.
Mr. Basemuth.
Aye.
Ms. Baldridge.
Aye.
Ms. Fleury.
Aye.
Ms. Rochelle.
Aye.
Thank you.
So that ordinance passes. Next is ordinance 2025-15, an ordinance confirming the appointment of Ronald Wallace to the position of full-time police officer with the Village of Glendale, Ohio Police Department, establishing compensation and declaring an emergency. And this again was covered in the police report. Is there a motion for this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
And a motion to dispense with three reads?
So moved.
Second.
Second. Okay, Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
For ordinance 2025-15, to dispense with the three reads, Ms. Masenko.
Aye.
Mr. Basemuth.
Aye.
Ms. Baldridge.
Aye.
Ms. Fleury.
Aye.
Ms. Rochelle.
Aye.
For ordinance 2025-15, Ms. Masenko.
Aye.
Mr. Basemuth.
Aye.
Ms. Baldridge.
Aye.
Ms. Fleury.
Aye.
Ms. Rochelle.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, that ordinance passes. Next is Resolution 2025-14, a resolution authorizing the village administrator to enter into an agreement for the purchase of electricity for the Village of Glendale Energy Aggregation Program.
It's 1-6.
No,
Mm-mm.
it's resolution.
It's a resolution.
Oh, sorry,
Resolution
sorry.
14.
I'm sorry. Okay.
We're testing you now. Numbers are very close to each other.
Thank you.
So typically, the Village of Glendale does an aggregation program for all of our residents. Usually by going together, we can get a better rate from energy providers. As always, if someone wants to opt out of the aggregation, they can. But our administrator will handle putting that aggregation together. When would that go into effect?
So the electricity aggregation is August of this year, I believe.
Okay. So that would be
Okay.
August.
Quick
Is
question.
it?
Yes.
So for a resident that's currently in an agreement with their own,
Mhm.
to get into this program, they would have to cancel their existing and then opt into this, correct?
That's right. If a resident is with a third party, they've signed a contract or what have you with a third party provider, they would need to cancel that agreement and then contact the village to enroll in the aggregation. If they're with Duke, just as a kind of like their base rate, they would still need to contact us, but they don't need to cancel that agreement. If they're already in the aggregation, they'll automatically be renewed into it, so there's no action that's required if they want to remain.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, good clarification. All right, so is there a motion for this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
And is there a motion to dispense with three reads?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
For resolution 2025-14, to dispense with the three reads, Ms. Masenko.
Aye.
Mr. Basemuth.
Aye.
Ms. Baldridge.
Aye.
Ms. Fleury.
Aye.
Ms. Rochelle.
Aye.
For resolution 2025-14, Ms. Masenko.
Aye.
Mr. Basemuth.
Aye.
Ms. Baldridge.
Aye.
Ms. Fleury.
Aye.
Ms. Rochelle.
Aye.
Thank you.
Just a question.
Yes.
David, do we anticipate a increase with this year, or do we know? how much you'll
We really won't know until the consultant goes out to bid for rates. So I don't know well enough whether we will or not, but
I just thought maybe you had some feedback on it.
not yet. But we do typically beat what Duke refers to as their price to compare. So that's the best comparison to use.
Thank you.
So next is Resolution 2025-15, a resolution authorizing the village administrator to enter into an agreement for the purchase of natural gas for the Village of Glendale Energy Aggregation Program. Same thing applies to the prior resolution, it's just for natural gas versus electricity. So is there a motion for this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
And is there a motion to dispense with three reads?
So moved.
Second.
All right. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
For resolution 2025-15, to dispense with the three reads, Ms. Masenko.
Aye.
Mr. Basemuth.
Aye.
Ms. Baldridge.
Aye.
Ms. Fleury.
Aye.
Ms. Rochelle.
Aye.
For Resolution 2025-15, Ms. Masenko.
Aye.
Mr. Basemuth.
Aye.
Ms. Baldridge.
Aye.
Ms. Fleury.
Aye.
Ms. Rochelle.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. And is there any other business anyone wishes to discuss this evening?
There was one baby born. I didn't catch it in time.
Oh, there was,
Yes.
okay. Can you tell us about that?
Little Chase Albert Miller,
Albert.
born February 20th, to Megan Miller, and I'm forgetting her husband's first name. Congratulations to them.
Mr.
She
Yes.
did all the
Mr.
work
and
anyway.
Mrs. Miller.
Megan Miller did all the work anyway, so we'll give the credit to her.
She did a lot of work on that one, yeah.
All right, that's wonderful news. Okay. With that then, good news, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, I think that's right.